everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm taking a look at what's happening in the Twin Flame Collective today. I'm just feeling drawn to do this reading, to just do a nice in-depth look into what is going on in your dynamic. I'm going to start off by looking at what's happened between you and your divine masculine leading up to this point. What is the history here? So that you can also then get an indication of whether or not this is actually, this channeling is for you. I'm going to be channeling what's happening in the energy to bring you some guidance based on your journey currently. The twin flame journey is a spiritual awakening. You are going through an awakening. If you are on a twin flame journey, you are going through a spiritual awakening. There are clear indications with your awakening that you are in fact on a twin flame journey. Some of you might have been here for a really long time. Some of you might be fairly new to the process, to this awakening. Whatever it may be for you, we're going to take a look at what Spirit wants to bring through for my Twin Flame Collective. Messages that you might need, guidance that you might need, and advice, of course. You're going through a spiritual awakening. These messages are to serve you on your journey. This is a relationship that is very unlike the regular relationship construct that we have adopted throughout this 3D reality. The way that we see relationships, the way that we behave around relationships, the beliefs that we have formed based on what we've witnessed and what we've experienced. This awakening tears all of that down. The twin flame awakening begins with an activation on a very deep soul level, because you are two minds, two bodies, one soul. It's about the meeting of your soul in a very raw and authentic way. It's not a pretty picture, because as long as you are in the ego, you will push it away and you will experience the pain and the agony of that. It's about coming into the fullness of who you are as a soul on this 3D plane, on this earthly plane. And most importantly, about you coming to awaken to the agape love that is you, that exists within you, that lives and thrives within you like dormant cells. And the activation of the twin flame, you meeting your twin flame, your divine masculine, your divine feminine, your counterpart, is an activation on it's not really a cellular level, but just to give you an idea. It's as if those dormant cells awaken and suddenly they're active and they start multiplying, and it transforms who you are as a species, as a being. Ancient Akashic records are awakened. Blueprints activated. It is intense. There is a lot that happens, and it propels you forward when you expect to drown. It propels you forward even though you feel as though you're losing your mind. People refer to false twin flames. There's no such thing as a false twin flame. That is a different, that energy, the energy of that relationship is completely different. But the reason why they use that term is because people often misunderstand other dynamics for a twin flame. It has its own vibrational blueprint. So I always try to explain that in my readings in the best way possible. I always try to teach you, I try to coach you and give you guidance. But if you do find yourself on a twin flame journey, and you find yourself feeling stuck at one of the phases of awakening, and you are in pain and you are struggling to cope with the reality of your life. Because if you're a twin flame and you are in separation, which is the only reason why you would be watching this video, and you have been doing a back and forth separation, figuring things out for a lengthy period of time, and I'm talking about years, or even for a short period of time, a couple of months, and you are still able to, and you don't feel like your life is completely, like you are collapsing and folding into your life experience, then you're probably not on a twin flame journey. It is completely debilitating. And there is no way that you can remain on a particular phase or in a cycle with your twin flame without progressing and expanding exponentially. So wherever you may be currently, for those of you who do know that you are twin flames, take where you are into consideration based on the messages that I share with you. Okay. I always ask whether you are new to my channel or you are a subscriber. And if you are new, welcome. I do hope that you enjoy the energy. And I trust that your guides and keepers have led you here for a reason. But I always ask that you guys settle into your intuition. Because I know many people watch many tarot readings. And there are many different messages that come through. Some can have some contradiction. It is entirely up to you. It is your responsibility to trust your intuition and put the pieces to what fits and what resonates for you together in a way that's going to serve you on your journey and help you to move forward. So I always ask that you take a few deep breaths, settle into your intuition, call upon your guides and keepers, and ask them to guide you through this reading, to help you to know and to recognize if it is your message first and foremost, which parts of the reading are for you and which are not. If it resonates, claim it without a doubt. If it doesn't fit and it doesn't quite make sense and you don't know how to make it fit, it's not for you. If it triggers, it is for you. That is where your work begins. An awakening is a journey, and every aspect of your journey, wherever you may be on your process, it is about growth, it is about learning, it's about practicing, it's about incorporating the new you, the truth that you are coming to know about yourself and about reality and about love. It's a lot of debunking, a lot of the ego constructs of what we've considered love and relationship to be. And it takes courage and it takes guts and it takes real emotional and spiritual, mental maturity to implement. But you can do it. If you're a twin flame, it's because you have the makings of that. You are high vibrational and you are evolved enough to do it. You've entered a sacred space. The archangels in the north, south, east and west have their flames burning. These sacred flames burn for us, to protect us, to help us to tune into the healing. I start all of my readings with a channeled remote healing for my subscribers in the area of love and relationship. And we call upon the spirits of air, water, earth and fire to help me channel these messages, to help me see with clarity, speak truth from a place of love. So what's happened between you and your divine masculine, for those of you watching, you might be wondering, divine masculine, divine feminine, if you are new to this concept. When I refer to the divine masculine and feminine, I'm referring to the positive and negative polarity in the twin flame dynamic. So you are one soul, two minds, two bodies, one soul, right? The mind is the program that you use to navigate and to create in this time-space reality. The body is also the vessel through which you navigate. The soul, a part of your soul has incarnated here. That is the biggest part of you. That is the authentic part of who you are. It exists here in this 3D plane, but it also exists universally. So you are two separate people that have incarnated, and your divine masculine, which is the negative polarity, normally goes through the spiritual awakening. They feel the intensity of the activation and of the connection. They feel the intensity of how this shakes their life to the core and their being to the core. They are not necessarily able to recognize that that is a positive thing. It is a frightening thing for them. Divine masculine has a tendency to be more in their ego. The divine masculine goes through this awakening unconsciously. So when they feel that something is true and real for them, they will often ask for validation from you if you are in communication. But they will also ask, and a part of them might doubt, because they respond to the energy that is active on a soul level between you. When you are separate and you are not fully whole within yourself as an individual and your divine counterpart within themselves as an individual, there is always these fragments that seem to be missing. So what's happening energetically is what your divine masculine acts out. They are the negative polarity. Those of you who are here seeking answers, unless you never ever watch these kinds of things and it's popped up and you're just listening because, well, you think you might have a twin flame, you're not quite sure, and you've spoken about it before, perhaps your divine feminine has mentioned it to you and you're just curious. Most of the time, the seeker of knowledge is the divine feminine. You go through, so the divine feminine goes through the awakening consciously. You know from the moment that it happens, you instantly start to have access Akashic records, have past life memories, dreams. You instantly know that this is, there's just a knowing. You know that you're going through an awakening. You experience everything on a 5D level. And where your person has a tendency to really doubt and to try and has tendencies to run away from this or push from this, you don't. You try to take steps back sometimes because you're afraid that you might be getting yourself into a situation where you are diving in deep and your person's not willing to do that. But you don't try and erase. You know that you want this, and you do find yourself chasing even when you ignore the person. You ignore that person, you distance yourself from them in the hope that they would realize what this is. And a lot of you think that that's you doing the running. It's still chasing because it's energetic. It doesn't matter what you do with your actions. what matters, it's a soul connection, it's a spiritual awakening. Your soul is awakening. So what matters is what you do energetically, and oftentimes you don't quite know or have a grasp of what you're doing energetically. So everything, how your divine masculine behaves, how your divine masculine responds, whether it's positive or negative, depends on how much energy you send in their direction. You're the positive polarity, so if you're sending a lot of energy in their direction, and I can't explain this, it's going to take too long for me to explain it in this reading, because then I've gone into my time too much. I do explain, and I take these concepts apart in coaching to help you understand what is the difference between how you perceive yourself to be behaving and what you're sending out energetically. How do you tune into that? Because often that is very different. Often that is very, very different. And everything is based on what you are doing energetically, where you are, and you can't fake it. You cannot fake energy. You can fake your actions, you can fake your words, you can even fake your beliefs. You can make people think you believe a particular thing, but you cannot bullshit energy. And your energy is what matters here, and that is where you need to learn to master things. And after that requires guidance, teaching, coaching. So, in the past, this connection was instant. It was romantic. It was beautiful. Those around you who witnessed it could see that. It makes me, you definitely came into your person's life like a key and an answer to all of their questions. Your person considered this connection to be a godsend. And you cannot understand how this has changed. You unlocked parts of your person that they've been searching for a really long time. They know this. You know this. But I'm seeing Beauty and the Beast. So I'm seeing this big gap between the two of you, where your person is aware that you are beautiful, you are like this princess or like this queen that is perfect, that is good, and they are this beast that is cursed. There is a lot of abundance, good fortune here, and a lot of good things came into your and your person's life as a result of this activation. Whether you are in union or not, you know it, your person knows it. The divine masculine might not be ready or willing to even admit this to anyone, but they do to people who don't know of your connection. And in a way that they sort of omit the details. A lot of things started going right for your person since you came into their life. And you know that a lot has shifted for you, and a lot has gone right for you as well. Unlocking of Akashic records. I'm seeing a connection here in which both parties were very spiritual, very aware of the esoteric, the mystics, and your person did have some deeply spiritual experiences that your person shared with you as a result of this connection. Telepathic communication, all of those wonderful, beautiful things where the divine masculine would say to you, what is happening here? I experienced this, expressing and communicating with you these powerful spiritual experiences in relation to you, where your person would have dreams about you, would see you in past lives as well. And then this is not someone that is blind to this is not someone that is blind to spiritual awakening. This connection here for these twin flames, so you get different groups. I think that I see it as 3 separate groups of twin flames that have come through. This particular twin flame connection has a distinct vibration of a soulmate as well, but it is definitely a twin flame. Why? Because these are 2 very evolved old souls who have met many times and have evolved together many times. This is not your twin flame connection where it is still young and your person is completely oblivious to the 5D, or seems to be oblivious to the 5D. This is the energy of 2 people who remembered one another in a very vivid and detailed way. Akashic records, lots of ancient wisdom coming to the forefront. I do see that there was an influence or an energy involved here. Now, this could be work related, or this could be a partnership, a relationship in which there was also business or partnership. Whatever it may be, I see a very dominating, self-seeking, oppressive energy that might have been in your person's life, controlling them with the prospects of money, wealth. It could be a female, a feminine, but has a very masculine dominant energy. I also see that there was a situation related to home or to house. So your person could have been living with this person and didn't quite know, could have been codependency here. So this is someone that has a tendency to be codependent and really, really struggles with letting go or cutting ties with relationship, because they associate their well-being, their stability with certain relationships. This is someone that spoke about sharing a home with you, marrying you, and growing old with you. I just suddenly had the sensation of my heart bursting into many little pieces. Your person is heartbroken. And I know that for many of you, this person is not really showing this, but your person is heartbroken. Because they saw everything with you and they wanted to give you everything and they wanted to have everything with you. But right from the start, this person didn't believe that they had that everything to give. I feel like there's such a big gap between you guys now after being so close. After being so incredibly close, finishing one another's sentences, having conversations without words, just looking at one another, eyes locked. being in a room filled with people and everybody else just disappearing because no one else exists and no one else matters. Your person took action, and your person wanted to take action for aggressive forward movement so that things can change, and ended up betraying you. But what you may not know is that this person believed that you betrayed them. Your person experienced this. Spirit is showing me that one experience, but your person's experience, their perspective, their perception of the experience is a different story, and yours is a different story. And I'm not saying that yours is the truth and theirs is not, or vice versa. I'm just saying that there are parts to the story that they have that shift the dynamic for them completely, and there are parts to the story that you have and also that you might be missing that shifts the dynamic completely. I feel like there's been a long separation here. When I say that, there is no separation for you. For twin flames, you are constantly in union, you are one soul, but I'm talking about on a 3D plane, where you haven't really spoken or seen one another. I still feel as though for your person, it feels like they still have these swords in their back. And you might say, but I didn't betray them. The reason why there's been this long gap is because your person believes that you did and hasn't pulled these swords out from their back, whereas you might have. Because I feel like you're stronger. The divine feminine, it might seem like it's unfair that as the feminine, as the positive polarity, you experience everything so vividly and consciously, and you feel like you're the only one that experiences all the pain and the agony, but you know what your pain is. The divine masculine is in turmoil, in agony, and they can't place where the pain is. So that is why, even though your person wants to come towards you desperately and has thought of reaching out to you or responding to your messages many, many times, they still feel these swords in their back, and so they cannot. That's what crosses this. What's happened in the past is there has been an ending here. An ending, a painful death experience, a grieving of this connection with the two of you. The death card is here, but the death card is also symbolic of death and rebirth. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the experience of it is excruciating. It's painful. It comes hand in hand. It's often seen with the tower for twin flames, because the tower is that burning away of that tower that you sit on. Your ego is just destroyed. But it has to be, so that you can emerge like the phoenix. What is it that the divine masculine thinks of you currently? The divine masculine still considers you to be good, just, honest, balanced, and true. And your counterpart believes that things are working out exactly the way that they should, and they will continue because you will make sure of that, and that you will always be good. Your divine counterpart also thinks that the reason why things went the way they did was because even though you are just and true and good and balanced, there wasn't balance in your connection. You were giving, they were taking. And your person was very your person was very, very aware of this early on and really was desperate to balance things out. But because your person had the image of the beast and you being beauty, didn't feel that your divine counterpart had anything to offer. So they were just trying to throw things at you to show you that they appreciate you. But they didn't consider any of it to be, not even their time, not their emotions, to be worthy of you, because your person has very low self-esteem. So even though you saw the value in this, your person didn't, and this created a huge imbalance. Also, your divine counterpart was aware that they needed you more than you needed them. And therefore, your divine counterpart felt betrayed, because they felt like you could move on. You could go anywhere and you would be perfectly fine. But you understood how turning your back on them would devastate them, and you still did it. That's just their perspective. That's your person's view. That's the level of abandonment that your person feels, and betrayal. And it's very possible that your person was the one that did the walking away or the abandoning, but that's often how it is. When you fear abandonment, you create it, and you will still experience it as if it's been done to you. How is it that the divine masculine feels about my twin flame collective? Confused. Very, very confused still. And at the same time, still so much passion towards you, still has so much desire for you. But the divine, your counterpart, feels as though you have many, many options, and why would you even choose? Why would they be your choice? Your person wants to be safe, wants to be accepted, wants to be loved unconditionally, wants to know that your person will not be abandoned even if they're not at their best, because they believe that they are so broken that they will always come with some issues. And you will not tolerate that. And you shouldn't. Your person has to change the way that they see themselves, because this is a false premise. But this is where your person is, and this is what keeps them in the state of confusion. But Spirit shows me it doesn't matter who they are with, doesn't matter who they try and talk to, doesn't matter how many people they feel they have a connection with, it's not you. They've not been able to replicate this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime connection. They've not been able to replicate this. There's an opportunity. And I do see that your person is very, very hard at work on themselves. This is not someone that doesn't believe in growth and understand that becoming whole is a part of growing spiritually and awakening spiritually. And your person's consistently been working on themselves, keeping their heads down, focusing on doing their work. And this brings your person to new clarity, to a new understanding about your connection. Your person knows that they manifested the issues, they manifested this beautiful connection, but they also manifested the issues. Your person knows that they were manipulative, trying to control outcomes, and that is why things blew up in their face the way that it did, in both of your faces, because you both must have been in that energy. Now, when you are a twin flame, you are mirroring one another. Whatever your counterpart, your divine masculine, acts out in the physical is what is active with you energetically. It's the energy that you are bringing. Even if you're saying, hello, I love you, if the energy is, I don't trust you, that's what's going to come through. You can say what you like, but your energy is always going to go ahead of you, especially in a twin flame dynamic. You are one soul, your person knows. And that's why it's important for you to do your work if you want to bring this connection into harmony in the 3D. Harmony doesn't always mean choosing to be together and living happily ever after as in the fairy tales, but you do live happily ever after because you do come to a place of peace and harmony in your as a soul. What is it that works in your favor currently? You are getting a lot done. A lot is falling into place for you. A lot that the action that you take is really being met in a positive way. So much is working out for you. You are attractive, you are dynamic, you are really glowing. And everyone sees this. And your divine masculine watches you and grieves the loss here. So your divine masculine considers this relationship to be a loss. And it could be because they see that you have moved on with somebody else that is your equal. Or it could be because they are afraid that you have moved on with someone else that is your equal when they couldn't be. But this person still grieves this deeply. Many emails and messages have been written and deleted to you. Many messages from spirit and dreams and even through people have come to your person to let them know that the action they took was not the right one. They've come to realize their mistakes. But pride and fear and ego, they're too afraid to write these messages. They don't know what to say. Nothing that they put down makes sense. And they're worried that they're going to look like a fool because to your divine masculine, your counterpart, how you see this person is everything. And when they realize that how you saw them changed because of their behavior, that was it. That was the thorn in their side, or that was the nail in the wheel, or the nail in the coffin. Let's put it that way. That was the nail in the coffin for them. There is a hope that they will be able to rise to a level where you will be able to look up to them. And for some of you, your person could still be married or obligated somewhere, and they're hoping that one day they'll be able to set themselves free from that. And you will be able to eat your words. You see, ego. They're in their ego. Outcomes here, choices. Now you can set your own timeline. This is a timeless reading. When I look at outcomes, you can look at anywhere between 6 and 12 months or longer. You can look at your timelines. Sooner than that, I wouldn't say, because the energy that is dominant right now is what's being created over the next few months anyway. So your person is still stuck on making their choices. Your person still considers you to be a choice that they have to make. Now, you might have taken yourself out of that equation altogether, but Spirit is showing me that a time is going to come where you might have to make a choice between your divine masculine and a soulmate. Because this person is going to come in and offer you a higher level of commitment, and this person is willing to, and has always, what may not be willing now, but at this time there's always been this knowing for your divine counterpart that the two of you are going to be married. And because of what's happened, obviously all of that is now confusion, and maybe it was just in my head and it'll never be. But this is definitely something that I see your person coming forward to offer you. And you will have to make a choice, because by the time this person steps forward, someone else might already be in the picture. But your counterpart comes towards you very, very quickly, unexpectedly, passionately, making this huge declaration of love, this offer of commitment, and takes the wind out of your sail, offering to become the emperor of your kingdom. I don't know if you will want that when this happens. But whatever you decide, I hope that you are equipped. I hope that you are equipped, that you have released yourself from self-imposed bondage, and that you have done the work to elevate to a place where you are vibrating at your highest level, so that you can see everything clearly and make your decision based on that then. Just because you're a twin flame doesn't mean you have to share your life romantically with your counterpart. You're together, you're one soul anyway. It's like twins. You can marry other people. And that might be what you've contracted to come here to do. And that might be what you've created. Advice from the goddess. You will have choice to make. In the future, you will have choice to make. And it'll be associated with your twin flame. But remember that your happiness does not depend on being with your twin flame, because you are one soul, you are always together, and you benefit from your awakening, whether you are together or not, depending on you lining up with benefiting from it. Depending on how you tune into the activations and how you master the energies, and you making the most of it and understanding what you're dealing with. Your divine counterpart has free will. They benefit in their own way too. No matter what happens, you deserve to be happy. You've asked for happiness, you've asked for joy, and it's important that you understand why you've come here. At this stage in your life, you have contracted to have this awakening, because your purpose and who you are here is intertwined with this awakening. And you've come here to do great things. You've come here to heal, to teach, to be a light worker, to be a part of the collective that heals the world. And for each of you, it'll be in your own unique way. But this is an intricate part of you tuning into the love that is your power, that helps you to do that, and to take your life to the next level, to take your life to being that expansive, dynamic, beautiful, blissful, satisfying, happy, co-creative experience. And in the end, you have come here for your wish fulfillment, to be the star in your own story, the star in your movie, to be well known for the work that you've come to do, to be known, to be successful. So that is your reading, beloved. Doesn't matter how toxic the twin flame awakening looks, it's only toxic from where you stand and the perspective that you choose. So you can respond toxically from an energetic perspective, through your actions, through your thoughts, through your beliefs, but that's your free will. It's not meant for that. And the same for your person. It grows you, it propels you, and it helps you to bloom into the beautiful lotus, to emerge from the flames as the phoenix. And that's what you've come here to do. If you are not certain whether or not you're in a twin flame connection, and if you'd like to start to really do your work and to line up with the power that is this awakening, so that your life can start resembling a powerful shift of an awakened soul, a healer, a seer, a teacher, whatever it may be, where you just know that you are vibrating at your core from a place of source every day, then, and you want to start doing that, tuning into that and leveling up to that, you can contact me for a personal reading, and you can sign up for my coaching sessions. I would be honored to help you. Otherwise you just feel so imprisoned in your experience, and it affects everything in your life around you. Your life is just a nightmare, and it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be abundant, joyful, satisfying, whether your person is in your face or at a distance is irrelevant. It is an unconditional life experience. That's what you've come here for. Do what is best for you. I trust that these messages have served you well, and all the best on your journey. I will see you guys next time. Bye now.